Hey, what's going on, guys? You're watching Foreman's Basement. My name is Frank. I don't really have a whole lot for you guys today, just a little update video, that's all. Not going to be any harmonica playing in this one. I forgot my harp today. I usually try to bring it with me to work, but I don't know. I've been a little uninspired these past, I was about to say years, but you know, specifically the last few weeks. I don't know. I feel like I was playing at the top of my game a few months ago, and now I just can't. I don't know. I just can't. I know when my playing is good to me. I know when it feels good and that it's right and proper, but it's really hard to get to that point, and it oftentimes doesn't last very long. And I feel like I have no control over it. Genuinely, I feel like I have no control over when the good energy, the good inspiration is gonna hit. And so I'm just waiting around my whole life, waiting to be inspired. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I mean, I can't. So yeah, I mean, I try. Of course, I sit down every day. I bring the harp with me everywhere. I have at least one harmonica on me most of the time, you know, in case the inspiration hits me, or sometimes I'm on the road, you know, while I'm working and I think of a riff, or I hear a riff, you know, on the radio or whatever, on the, you know, on Spotify, and I'll have to try it out. Or a lot of times when I get home, I'll force myself to play a few notes, but that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm forcing myself to. And it's just like, I don't know. It should never be that hard, ever. It should never be that hard. It should just be a fun and effortless thing. And I know this because, again, when my playing is good, it is fun and it is effortless. And when it's not, it's not. So, yeah. And then I also just want to make other types of videos, but it's kind of the same thing as the harmonica playing. I just can't get in the zone. And sometimes I upload a video and I'm just not satisfied with it. Later I'll go back and I'll say, well, I just shouldn't even have uploaded that. You know, like the crawling king snake video that I did. I'm actually really proud that I thought of that as an idea for a vamp, the crawling king snake vamp. I've never seen anyone else do that before. And I actually think it was great. And so, but of course I rushed it, or it just wasn't good enough. I just couldn't get a good take. And I was like, all right, I guess this will have to do. And I uploaded it, and later I regretted it because I could have taken my time and made it good. Anyway, so yeah, I try every day, but I really just don't. I don't seem to have any control over being able to play how I want to or when I want to. I'm kind of just waiting for the inspiration to hit. Oftentimes hits in the evenings after a couple of drinks, but you know, again, lately not so much. And it's shocking to me how quickly the inspiration can go sometimes. Like, I've been thinking about this, I must have some kind of a deficiency, some kind of a vitamin or nutrient deficiency. That's probably why I feel so bad all the time, like why I'm always tired and everything hurts, and you know, I just don't know. I remember the other day I was having a little moment of inspiration. You know, I was on a roll for about 10 minutes, and I stopped. I went downstairs to get a glass of water, and I came back up, and I was about to start playing again, and it was like the life just shifted out of me. It was just gone. The energy just literally drained from me in that very moment, and all of a sudden I was just so tired I couldn't, you know, I could barely keep my head up. I was just... Anyway, so yeah, as you guys know, I had to move because I was just tired of being mistreated at that other house. And you know, I can genuinely say that I do hate my family, and that's such a horrible thing to say. And I don't say that word lightly. I'm not like, hate, that's a strong word, you know. I guess my dad's alright, but you know, my dad's got some kind of like mental issue, I don't know, or he doesn't, when it comes to certain things, he can't seem to see things logically, and that upsets me greatly. But at the same time, I know my dad's not a bad guy. Like, in his soul, in his heart, there's no malice. There's no evil there. It's not... When he does something that upsets me, it's not something that he did on purpose, you know. Inside his heart, he's a good guy. He cares. He wants to do the right thing. So that's kind of what's important to me. Unfortunately, I can't say the rest. I can't say the same thing for other people in my family. And the house that I was living at before, fucking guy, you gonna let me in or not? The house I was living at before, you know what's fucked up? I was just thinking, I'm looking at the mountains right now. It's actually a beautiful day today. And it feels odd to me. Yeah, I've been really depressed the last few years, and I'm still always able to... I guess what I'm saying is I never forget that life is beautiful. That it can be, that it often is. But then just the fact that you can't, or I can't, sorry, I'm speaking for myself here, that I can't ever truly enjoy it. You know, I get these glimpses of it. I have these fantasies where I think, wouldn't life be grand if that was true, you know? Wouldn't life be a dream? God, I wish you guys could see this. It really is actually beautiful right now. I'm just looking at desert mountains and just giant, thick white clouds. And there's this little house just right on top of one of the mountains. House on a hill. I don't know. That's all I ever get. That's really the highlight of my day. I'll have a little, just ever so brief, fleeting moment, almost a reminder, you know? And then it's back to the shittiness. It's so hard to... I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me, but I don't really care, you know? I've been thinking, like, I'm ready to die. I don't want to suffer. The thought of, like, shooting myself and, like, not that I would ever kill myself, but the thought of, like, shooting myself and then you're just kind of, you know, waiting to, whatever, to bleed out for the brain activity to stop, or, like, you know, you're inhaling, like, carbon monoxide. What do you think in those last few moments? That's such a heavy thought, man. I think that's why I like a sudden death, you know, just very quick, like a sudden explosion, you know, like getting shot, I guess. But again, anyway, guys, what are we talking about? I'm sorry. What was I talking about before that? Anyway, yeah, it really is. It's a reminder that life is beautiful, and yet all I ever get is these glimpses, but I never seem to be able to capture it. It's always so fleeting. These moments of happiness, they just go away. And in my opinion, there's just not nearly enough of them to make this life worth it, you know? And I'm just not having a good time. Like, sometimes I think, what would make me happy? And again, back to what I was saying, I have these daydreams in my head of, like, you know, sometimes they're very simple daydreams. Like, I used to want so much out of life. I really did, too much. And I can say that now looking back. I used to want it all. I used to want it everything, all or nothing. I wanted the whole enchilada, man. And after these last few years of, suffering every single day, I'm at a point that I don't want those extreme grand things anymore. I'd really be willing to settle for just not being miserable. Let's see, what else? Having a safe place to live, a good, decent, half-decent place to live. Having a job or some form of income that I don't hate. And a person, dude. I need a special person, man. I was thinking, guys, I'm writing this song. By the way, this is my drive home. I've been driving for about an hour. This is what I go through every day to drive home. I have a lot of time to think. It's either think about life or listen to music. And I just completely fucking forgot what I was about. All right, so I'm sitting here, you know, stuck in rush hour earlier today. And I'm thinking, I'm thinking about this theme, right? That I just need a ray of sun in my life. That thought just popped into my head. I don't know why. And that's what the song is going to be called. I need a ray of sunshine in my life. But it's true. I want just one person, just one, who actually understands me, who has good energy, that I can talk to, that I can have a conversation with and connect with. Just one fucking person. I just need one special human being to be there for me that I can connect with, because you know what? I'm starved for good conversation. Do you guys know why I make these videos? Because I can't fucking talk to anybody, okay? I have friends, but I haven't spoken to them in a very long time, nor do I want to, because I already know what they're gonna say, and I already know what I'm gonna say, and I got nothing to say. So, you know, and that's why I make these videos. My whole life, just trying to find just one fucking person that, like, understands a little bit, you know, enough to just, I don't know. You guys know what I mean, don't you? Haven't you guys, have you guys ever had this? Have you guys ever had that one special person that just makes everything okay? It could be a best friend, like your guy best friend, or it could be a love interest, you know, like a romantic interest. Either one. I'm just saying. Hell, it could even be a relative. You know, just one special person that gets you, and you guys are, I mean, again, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be a friend. It can be a family member. I just really, really want, I don't know. I just really want someone to talk to. Like, I don't know. I wish I had, yeah, damn, that's fucked up. Anyway, that's why I make these videos, you know? It's just me rambling, but I try rambling to other people, and I see the look on their face, and it's just, I'm not gonna do this to them. I'm not gonna do it. The closest I ever get is when I'm at the bar, drunk, and I run into some guy. Yeah. I went to O'Hara's Rock and Roll Tavern a couple of Sundays ago for their blues jam. It was something. It was something, you guys. Well, first of all, again, I live in the desert now, so it's like 111 degrees outside. You walk in, the place is totally dark. It looks like a house from the outside. Completely dark on the inside. I mean, I can't even see. It takes a moment for my eyes to adjust. And you walk in right next to the stage. You know, the stage is to your right. A little bit forward to the left is the bar. And then they've got a little balcony. It's my first time here. I've never been here before. I haven't talked to any of these musicians before. Well, I didn't see a sign-up sheet, and nobody acknowledged me, even though I walked in with instruments, and seemingly I was one of the few musicians in there. By the way, no one in the crowd gave a fuck. Which is just basically what I'm saying. It was very, very, very different vibe than the nice upper class San Diego open mics that I go to. You know what I've noticed? You know what else? This just hit me right now. There's a marked difference between, let's say, a brewery and a bar open mic. Those are two different things. The same way that a bar open mic and a winery open mic, again, two different things. You go to an open mic at a winery, well, you're going to see some moms, you know, you're going to see some ladies, older ladies, you know, like, the fuck was I sorry, I have so many thoughts in my head. Anyways, this place was a disaster. I kind of liked it just because of how shitty it was. I had to practically force my way onto the stage. I had to walk up in between sets and be like, hey, blues harmonica right over here. Thank you, fellas. They just let me go. Wasn't that nice of them? So and so thankfully once they realized what I was there for, they were very welcoming, and I did a couple sets actually. Being the only slide-in harmonica player in there, and also a singer, I was able to get more than my fair share of stage time. There were some interesting characters in there. It was a very barfly type of environment, and I cannot stress this enough when I say Lake Elsinore is not great place. It's not necessarily ghetto, but almost, actually, I don't know. What is a ghetto? What qualifies as a ghetto? It's not a nice place, I'll tell you that, and the people are not very nice. They're sort of the, how do I put this delicately? They're sort of the, well, there's a few factions. You got the, okay, never mind. I can't go into that without breaking it down into, cultural, racial stereotypes. Anyway, there's a select group of people, okay? You guys, read between the lines. You know what I'm saying? That sounded horrible. I didn't mean that I was gonna, like, discriminate against, someone based off of that. I just meant, there's... Alright, I'm gonna shut up and continue the story now. So, anyway, that's it. Yeah, not much of a story. Very alcoholic, druggy type people in Lake Elsinore. Not all of them, of course. I know plenty of people in Lake Elsinore that are good, upstanding citizens, just like there are in every city in the States. But yeah, very much a barfly. Definitely would be considered a lower class establishment. And it was just fascinating to me. I don't know. It was just interesting how different it was from from those bougie, like, nice open mics that they have in North County. So I did do, again, I stayed for their set, and then I did another guy's set. I sang a couple Big Walter songs. I never really sing any particular song. I'll start with a verse and then whatever comes to mind. It's blues, so. The harps went pretty good. I feel like after the first song, they accepted me, because when somebody walks up and says, I play blues harmonica, you better be very careful if you're about to let them on stage, You have to, because you could get a Bob Dylan up there if you're not careful. And, anyway. So that was fun. Back to what I was saying, that I feel so misunderstood. The only time I ever really talk to people is just when I'm at the bar, and, it's always you walk outside. I was walking outside to get high, and I saw this guy who had been inside. I thought it was my friend Marcus from high school, because it looked exactly like my buddy Marcus from high school. I thought it was him. I kept looking over like, is that Marcus? And I'm thinking in my head, like, that'd be really depressing if he's still in Lake Elsinore all these years later, just hanging out at a bar on a Sunday. One of the shittiest bars in town, I'm sure. I'm sorry, I did not mean that. This was, honestly, this was a fine establishment. Fine, not great, just fine. Anyway, guy goes outside. It's not Marcus. And I know that because he is significantly older than Marcus. There's this effect that's created in these dark bars where you see somebody from the stage and they look a certain way, but then you see them outside and they look a different way, okay? Because it's something about the difference in the light. Anyway, this guy walks outside. I realize it's not my friend Marcus. It's a significantly older guy who just happens to look a lot like Marcus, but is older, a lot older. But then I notice his shorts and his shoes, which he's wearing I wouldn't know, I guess they maybe Adidas or, I'm trying to think right now. Look, whatever shoes are popular with Europeans, I can spot a European male. I'm from Europe, and I've been around a lot of European guys, and they're pretty easy to spot, especially when they dress like Europeans. I took one look at this guy's shorts and his shoes, and that was the first thing that came to mind, was this guy's European. And then as soon as he spoke with a European accent, and I was like, oh, like, how you doing? Where you from? Guy was from Romania. He does some kind of computer job. He says he's moved around the States. I thought that was cool. I thought, this is a cool guy. This is a cool guy that, imagine, I mean, I don't know, that's like an adventure, right? From, I don't know what Romania is like, but to come from there to Lake Elsinore, California, I just thought, what a guy. What an interesting guy. Anyway, I don't remember his name. I'm trying to think. It wasn't Marcus. Paul, maybe? I don't fucking know. Anyway, it turns out he's a drummer. I did the next set with him. And that was it. That's pretty much all I've done. It feels very strange to be back in Lake Elsinore, living with my dad. driving an hour and a half to work, an hour and a half home some days, you know, on a bad day. It's just insane to me. I haven't been in this town in years, and it's just very jarring to come back. And I've just been revisiting a lot of my old haunts, you know, doing some of the hikes that I used to do when I was a teenager. I used to hike the mountains around here, find places to get high. There's this abandoned mine. You can actually see it from where I am. Right now, I wasn't expecting this video to... I wasn't expecting myself to talk as much as I am, so right now I'm actually just randomly driving around wasting gas. But this is my old neighborhood from back in the day. I lived in this neighborhood when I was in high school, and yeah, right now I'm just walking around. You know, when I was a teenager, again, I would just roam around this neighborhood, getting high and listening to the Grateful Dead, and just kind of exploring. You know, hanging out with friends. I had friends back then. Hanging out with friends, getting high. It's one of those like shitty, like new development communities in California. You guys know what I mean, like those new suburbs that are just expanding anywhere that there is land in California. Very much Return of the Living Dead Part 2 vibes, you know, like places still under construction. I remember when we moved to this neighborhood, it's expanded considerably. And because of that, there was a lot of empty houses. I remember me and my buddies used to break into the vacant homes, and we were just bastards. We were just shitty little high school kids. We just break in, not literally break in. We would find the ones that were open, or you know, go through the sliding glass door, and you know, we'd just fuck around. You know, we would just get high and hang out in these model homes. And yeah, just thinking about that, I can still remember the smell of those new houses, you know, the carpet. And we would just fuck around. I remember 2 times we got caught doing that. One time, the owner of one of the houses came home, like the guy that was trying to sell it. I guess he was there to fix something up or whatever. But we heard the cars pull up, and we heard the doorknobs rattle, and we ran out the back. We ran out that sliding glass door. But one time, this old Asian guy did catch me alone at one of these houses. Again, I was getting high. I was smoking a joint. And I was so high, and I was so scared because I was high. I didn't realize I'm a minor. He literally can't do shit to me. I can just walk away right now. Like, nothing is going to happen. I haven't done anything particularly wrong. Am I supposed to be here? No, but I haven't broken anything. It's fine. I wasn't thinking like that back in the day. And I was legitimately terrified of this old Asian man who, you know, is like, what the fuck is this kid doing? You know, and yeah. So that's, yeah. I'm gonna look at my notes. I wrote down some notes on my sandwich bag. I was in rush hour traffic. I was like, I gotta just make a video, because I never upload anymore. And, God damn, I can still feel like breadcrumbs and sandwich grease on my fucking face. Anyway. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I've seen a couple of movies lately. I saw Factotum. I think that was 2005 with Matt Dillon, based on the Charles Bukowski novel. I think that's without a doubt my favorite Charles Bukowski book, Factotum. I think it just really encapsulates a big part of Bukowski's essence. And I never knew that they made a movie until randomly the other day. I forget how. I just happened to come across, I think it was like a Facebook post or something. Again, Matt Dillon starring as Bukowski or Henry Chinaski. Pretty decent movie. I liked it, but I can see how somebody would watch it, get to the end, and be like, what the fuck was that about? Like, what was the point of that? The message is very subtle. The message that I interpret from this movie, anyway. And then I saw Civil War because I love A24. I like to watch anything that they do. And I was thoroughly disappointed. I don't know what it was about that movie. It just did absolutely nothing for me. And it was off to a slow start. I should have known right then and there. When it didn't hook me right away, I should have known I was in trouble, but, you know, I made it through the whole movie, and, I mean, honest to God, I can't... Do you ever feel like that? Like, you watch a movie and you're like... You feel stupid because you don't understand what vision the director had in mind. Like, is there a message? You know, is it... What's the deal? What's it about? I just don't... Again, Civil War, it had Kirsten Dunst. I love her, and Jesse Plemons, even though he was only in one scene. Which, by the way, that was easily the best scene in the movie. That was the only scene that had any suspense to it whatsoever, was Jesse Plemons' scene. I'm sorry if you haven't seen the movie. I probably wouldn't recommend it, but unless you're like me and you just have to see those new A24 movies. But I personally didn't really care for it too much. My throat feels so fucked up every time I'm talking lately. That can't be a good sign. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. I really feel like the end is near. My health has been on a spiral, a downward spiral for as long as I've been depressed, honestly. That's probably has something to do with it. And driving past my old house right now. Damn, they fucked up the garage door. What happened there? And now I'm driving past... There was this girl that I used to see that lived in this house. There's a couple girls in this neighborhood. I look back to when I was in high school and... Wow, what a crazy time. I just can't believe I'm 27 and I hate my life and I want to die. And I just think back then I was just a stoned little idiot, and the only thing that mattered to me was getting high and listening to the Grateful Dead and Pink Floyd. That's it. I was perfectly happy. You know, I was content for a time. It wasn't until I grew up that I realized there's not a lot of hope in this life. I don't know. I mean, what am I gonna do? Seriously, like, I'm not kidding. What am I gonna do? I'm asking you. I'm asking, so please tell me. You know, I'm stuck at my job. I have no fucking money. If anything ever happens to this car, it's over. My life is over. It's literally done. I have, like, you know, I have no form of savings of any kind. I got paid, what day is it? Today's Wednesday. I got paid Monday. I got paid Monday at midnight. So, you know, 12:01 a.m., whatever. I was out of money by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon that same day. And I just got a fucking raise this year, too. First raise I've ever had in my life, by the way. That I had to ask for. Because I just thought, you know, eventually they'll realize, hey, you know, this guy's been working for us for years, and he's a great driver. He does his job well. He's never had an accident. He shows up every day. I thought anybody would have noticed that and said, hey, Frank, how would you like a raise? But as we all know, that's not how this fucking world works. And you know what fucking pisses me off? Is when my parents want to give me a hard time about never having any fucking money and being where I am in my life. When if this was 20 fucking years ago, god damn it. I'm sorry. I've been... Fuck! That fucking hurts. My chest just starts hurting out of nowhere. I forgot what I was even saying. Well, at least if I have a heart attack, we'll get it on camera. That'll be fucking hilarious. God, that would be great. They just find me dead on the side of the road. The camera's still recording. Please do upload that. God, that's my fantasy. That's my fantasy. Is I just have a lethal stroke. I have sudden death syndrome while I'm driving, and they just find my body. They just find my car on the side of the road. I don't know why I think of these things. I don't know. Guys, listen, it's not looking good. I'm scared. I'm terrified. Do not take my fucking smart ass attitude as being calm, because I'm fucking terrified. Like, I don't know what the future holds, but I'm almost certain it's nothing good. I'm almost positive. Seriously. Now, of course, and I was thinking about this the other day, there's always the very small possibility. There's always this possibility. The very small possibility that everything will be okay. Maybe the blue bird of happiness will just knock on my door one day and all my problems will go away. There's always that chance. I don't want to say that that's impossible. That could happen. It's my favorite conspiracy theory. Have you guys ever seen this meme? My favorite conspiracy theory is that it's gonna be okay. That's my favorite conspiracy theory. I just saw a kid. He was riding one bike and he was carrying another bike on his lap. So that means we either got a man down or he just stole a bike and he's bringing it somewhere. I forgot what I was saying, guys. I'm going home. This thing in my throat really concerns me. It's like I noticed it anytime I've been talking lately. I get this. I don't know. My vocal cord on my left side just feels like a sausage. You know. Maybe I'm finally hitting puberty. You know. Maybe at 27, the final steps of puberty, or maybe now I'll finally be able to grow a full beard. I don't know. You never really fucking know, do you? I'm looking at horses, I'm looking at ranches, and I'm wishing I was anyone but myself. Back to what I was saying earlier, these daydreams. I have these daydreams. What's going on here? You alright, bud? This guy's waving people down. I don't know. He was here earlier when I drove through. He just closed his window, so I guess he doesn't want to talk to anyone. I have these fantasies, guys, and it's like these daydreams, these waking dreams. I'll just be at work, you know, doing my job, and like, let's say that I'm driving in San Diego, which I do every day for work. Sometimes I just drive through the most beautiful parts of California, you know, like those houses right next to the beach or whatever, and I just start having these daydreams, these fantasies of like, can you imagine being one of these fucking people? Like, you guys know what I mean? You guys ever drive by the beach on a weekday and you see like some guy who just looks completely carefree? He's got his AirPods in, the sun's out, he's looking at the beach, he's probably listening to his favorite music, the breeze is hitting his hair, he's got a smile on his face because he lives in California and he probably doesn't have financial issues. He has a nice home, a loving wife, and I just think, I would love to be one of these guys, you know? Like, I never would have thought that, years ago, but now I do. Now I see these little tiny, rustic yet beautiful, probably $12 million homes, and I just think, can you just imagine that? Just for a second, can you imagine you live somewhere like that, and you just get up in the morning and you go get a bagel and a coffee, and you don't have any responsibility, so then maybe for lunch you go to the diner and you order a burger, but before that burger you have a few beers with it. You wash down those beers with a burger and more beers, and now you're half drunk, and it's the middle of the day, and I don't fucking know, maybe you stroll down to the beach and you just pass out there for a little bit, you know? And that's an extreme one. Sometimes they're much simpler than that, these fantasies. Sometimes I think, what if I was a guy who could enjoy his life? What if I was a guy who could just go to the park and sit down and just enjoy it? Just enjoy the day. But no, instead I think about what would be the best way to kill myself? Or why did I have to be born into this family of people that are illogical and abusive? Illogical people infuriate me. Nothing, who was it that said that recently? Someone said that, and I could not agree more. Someone said that recently, that nothing pisses me off more than an illogical person, someone who is not willing to listen to or think in a reasonable manner. And I'm rambling again. It's just really upsetting. God damn it, this thing with my throat. I've always said if I ever have any kind of cancer, guaranteed it's going to be throat cancer. That's a promise. Because, well, anyway, it's not worth going into, but just trust me. I use my throat for everything, dude. My harmonica playing, my singing, my drinking. I've smoked out of the most horrible pipes when I was younger, you know, plastic pipes that I crafted myself when I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I used to smoke cigarettes without the filters on them. The first thing to go is going to be my throat, then my lungs, then my liver, then probably my kidneys. I'm out of water. I'm out of water. My throat's fucking killing me. I just don't want to suffer, you know? I don't think anyone should have to suffer every day. And also, it's like, I know what it's like to feel not just okay, I know what it's like to feel good. And it's the same thing as my playing harmonica. If I know what it's like to play good, I want to always play good. Because I know it's fun and effortless. God damn my fucking throat. Because it's fun and it's effortless. Okay. So yeah, what does the future hold? You know what matters to me is food. That's what fucking makes me happy. I wish I could eat myself to death. Literally. And I would like to apologize for talking with my mouth full. That's disgusting. I hate it when people do that. And occasionally I catch myself doing that too. No, but seriously, I wish I could eat myself to death. I wish it didn't take 50 years to eat yourself to death. You know? I wish I could just sit down, eat a 16-foot long sandwich, a 16-foot Italian sandwich, and I wish that at the end of it, my heart would just explode. Wouldn't that be nice? I think that would be wonderful. But it doesn't work like that, you know? My father has one vice. It's food, and it hasn't killed him yet, and I don't think it's ever going to. My dad is going to live forever. My dad is immortal. I woke up the other day. This guy's eating 2 hot dogs with buns and potato chips for breakfast. 2 hot dogs with buns and mustard and potato chips. What kind of a savage breakfast is that? Respect, though. I mean, honestly, you gotta live your life. You gotta enjoy it. You gotta live it. You have to take the victory where you can. It's, I don't know. I guess it's like doing a wake and bake, right? Some people look at that and they say, you're getting high, it's 9 a.m. You know, like, this is so ridiculous and irresponsible and hedonistic, and 2 hot dogs. I cannot stress this enough, with buns and mustard. If the hot dogs had been cut up with some eggs and cheese and rolled into a burrito, that just would have been a different conversation. But I'm talking about 2 hot dogs with buns and mustard. You can't forget the mustard if you're gonna put a bun on it, of course. And potato chips, a side dish with that. So I do respect that, and I think that's cool. But the point is, if you want to eat yourself to death, it could take upwards of 50, 70, 80 years, you know? So I can't eat myself to death, you know? And if alcohol poisoning was gonna kill me, it probably would have done so by now. So instead, you're left with the slow ones, the cirrhosis, the congestive heart failure, which my dog is dying from right now. My baby puppy, Oreo, my best bud, my biggest friend. I moved back in. My dad just very casually mentions one day, Yeah, Oreo's got congestive heart failure, you know, the vet said. I'm like, what in the fuck? What did you just, like, that seems like something I should have known sooner. Guys, I need to stop. I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna hurt myself, so I need to stop talking like that. You know, because if I was gonna kill myself, it probably would have happened by now. All right, look, I got nothing, guys. I'm out of here. This is just a rant. I'm so upset. I'm at the end of my rope, you know?